The U.S. Federal Reserve's announcement of XBRP's implementation recently made headlines. STD, Senior Vice President David Andela of the Lewis Federal Reserve Branch, has been made aware of the potential for integrating Ripple for payment processing. In view of Net's significant reliance on XBRP for these transactions, the Fed may designate an outside entity, such as Ripple, to manage settlements, to paraphrase David Andela. The value of XBRP might soar if this occurs, perhaps hitting $10,000. It's also important to note, Mark, that the Federal Reserve's decision is not shocking. About a month has passed since the Federal Reserve, a business renowned for its groundbreaking ideas, formally acknowledged the potential contribution of XBRP and XLM to enhancing the blockchain element of their FedNote payment service. Ripple is currently in the spotlight for its open-source financial transaction platform and cross-border payments. It is anticipated that the FedNote payment services integration of Ripple's technology will drive XRP's value to all-time highs. As previously stated on the federalreserve.gov website, the first section of the study, The U.S. Path to Faster Payments, recognizes Ripple as a major partner of the Federal Reserve that collaborates on payment solutions. The study emphasizes Ripple's ability to facilitate real-time international payments, which often take 2 to 4 days with minimal tracking and pricing transparency. In terms of prompt settlement and complete openness on payment, status, and fees, Ripple is revolutionary. Later on, we learn that Ripple and the Fed have extended their collaboration to include domestic payments. Take a moment to read this. There is a wealth of information to support it. Passage. It talks about how big banks like the Saudi Arabian Monetary Authority, the Fed, and the Bank of England have teamed up with Ripple to enhance their domestic payment systems. The report's mention of Ripple Labs is an interesting aspect. Payment processing innovation, particularly with regard to its emphasis on offering a free worldwide real-time settlement infrastructure. The Federal Reserve is already planning to adopt and implement Ripple's decentralized peer-to-peer settlement framework, which is expected to replace existing fund transfer systems. This was mentioned just over a year ago in a Federal Reserve article on Fox News about their investigation into a digital U.S. dollar. Early indications of this development were suggested by the prominent display of the Ripple logo. Ripple has been covertly integrated into the functioning of the International Monetary Fund, IMF, the Bank of International Settlements, BIS, and the Federal Reserve Board. Ripple's technology has piqued the curiosity of companies on the partners list, enabling them to further explore the intriguing world of global finance. Unsurprisingly, the Bank of International Settlements, BIS, manages a sizable portion of the global wealth. There is much to unpack here, and it's all really related for those who want to delve into the specifics. But that's only the beginning of it. Ripple appears to be spearheading this effort, according to a Department of the Interior statement that quotes Jess Chan, a senior lawyer at the Friedrichshainer Board of Governors. It seems that XBRP will be adopted by the EU's BRICS. Very interestingly, since early March, the Fed has been discussing possible bank losses as a result of rising interest rates and pressure on the real estate market with a number of partners. Many of you may be surprised by what I'm going to share. The European Union has gone so far as to declare that XBRP will serve as the foundation for the new digital euro that would manage wealth transfers. And XBRP record as we watch the film, it's clear that the narrative behind XBRP is rapidly shifting. The SEC versus Ripple controversy is over. According to a well-known specialist, the BRICS countries are now opting to use XBRP as the foundation for their central bank digital currency. As XBRP finds traction globally, he anticipates a short-term spike to $5.50 and a possible $10,000 leap. Breaking news from Ripple and the XBRP ledger suggests that the digital currency supported by the central bank of BRICS will play a significant role in the global financial system. We'll look at Ripple's vast network in every BRICS country. Let's start in Brazil, where a significant advancement has been made in collaboration with Ripple. In Brazil, Ondum and Liquidity Service, a revolutionary cryptocurrency, has been introduced. There has been a noticeable shift towards Ripple Labs, which aims to create a digital currency on the xrp ledger, since SWIFT decided to bar Russia from its payment system, signifying a major advancement in the financial technology sector of the nation. Let's now focus on Russia, where a wealth of data indicates that President Putin has made a strategic decision to diversify away from the USD and the petrodollar. This action guarantees Russia's sustained participation in the international financial sector by avoiding. As we shift our focus to India, we learn that Ripple is spearheading yet another significant initiative that will help the nation's ambitious digital initiative, the Rupee program. This initiative marks an important turning point in India's quest for a full GL. The technology created by Ripple Labs is the foundation of the global CBD. That's not all, though. In an effort to gain traction in the central bank-controlled digital currency market, the People's Bank of China has joined the battle alongside Ripple. Ripple is solidifying its position as a major force in the African global financial arena with this deal. The adoption of xrp and Ripple by South Africa and over a dozen other African nations for their payment processing systems essentially tells the same tale. The growing significance of CBCS on the xrp ledger throughout the continent is highlighted by the 2022 African Blockchain Study. The widespread use of the ledger demonstrates its increasing importance in Africa's financial environment. Furthermore, xrp was identified as a top digital asset for payment services in a recent BRICS study. With BRICS backing, xrp's position as a leading digital currency is further cemented. Price forecasts for xrp have been flooding in after recent developments. Notable predictions have drawn our attention, such as well-known financial experts, who openly predicted that xrp would trade at $500. This prompted us to investigate the issue further, which ultimately produced an intriguing but top AI bot, GPT, which is forecast that by 2024, the value of 4 cryptocurrencies, xrp, Ripple, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano, will have skyrocketed by 100,000%. When considering the perspective of Arthur Brito, co-founder of Ripple, this prognosis makes sense. Brito believes that the value of xrp was intended to reach $10,000, and he emphasizes that xrp can grow to accommodate the financial demands of the anticipated 7.5 billion people on the planet. What does DOL 500 signify in this context? Overall, DOL 500 is really a stepping stone to XRP's actual potential value, which is to achieve the enormous price of 110,000, which is the target for xrp. The xrp ledger is supporting this initiative. 21 nations have openly decided to move away from U.S. currency, and virtual institutions are quickly collaborating with AI to create CBCS on the xrp ledger. An increasing trend of central banks collaborating with Ripple and using the xrp ledger into their operations is evidenced by Dubai's central bank's recent decision to formally support xrp for use. Dubai's action is yet another example of how xrp is becoming more widely accepted and used. Please be aware that I am not a licensed financial consultant. These films' content is intended solely for entertainment purposes. Before making any significant financial decisions, I strongly suggest viewers to do their own research and consult with professionals. I'm grateful that you watched this video. Please click the like button if you thought it was interesting.